It's a crazy story here. A few days ago, a report came out in the Air Force Times. So, during this COVID-19 um, pandemic, Air Force Times reported social distancing restrictions at the Air Force Academy have been relaxed after it reported two candidate suicides in less than a week following attempts to slow the spread of the coronavirus. Emails obtained from the Academy show Colorado Springs based has received complaints about how police made the school prison-like for about 1,000 candidates who remained on campus. The Air Force Chief of Staff, General David Goldfield, met with leaders and candidates at the Academy Monday following the reported suicides last week. After last night and today, thank you for all the conversations and direct engagements with me and the Air Force senior leaders. Lieutenant General J. Silver said in an email Monday announcing policy changes, I asked them to come out and talk to you, and I'm grateful that despite the travel restrictions, they wanted to talk to you. The policy adjustments came after Academy leaders sent candidates from the lower three classes home to finish the year online and kept the remaining senior class on campus, spreading them out across dormitories. They were ordered to stay on campus and stay separated from one another while taking online classes and eating takeout meals from the school's dining facility. The candidates who died by suicide were set to graduate this spring. The changes were made in response to the deaths, though it is not clear to what extent the isolation played a role in the suicides. Candidates are now able to venture off campus for drive-through food, wear civilian clothing on Fridays, and congregate in small groups. In compliance with state guidelines. Academy leaders said in an email to students and staff, long marching practice tours where candidates are closer than 6 feet from their classmates were also temporarily suspended. No one is being punished for social distancing violations. Be smart. Alcohol also will be allowed on the campus, just not in the dormitory or cars. And staff was encouraged to bring their dogs to work, according to emails. The academy did not immediately respond to comment. That's hilarious. So two things. One, something happened where they turned this academy into like a prison because of this coronavirus. Two suicides happened. The funniest thing that I saw that came out of that is let them some bitches get drunk. They can have alcohol on campus. They can have alcohol on, because normally they're not allowed to have alcohol on campus. They can have alcohol on campus. The candidates are like, yes, it's party time. Bring on the liquor and the puppies. For real, like they should give every one of those candidates a puppy. My general's over there just sleeping like a mad dog. And they should allow them to get drunk. Stop the suicides at the Air Force Academy. Just a weird story, just something unintended of this. Today I asked the question, do you think the murder rate will go up during the coronavirus? I'm going to tell you something. Yesterday, at some point in the day, both my dogs were in here like barking and moving around and wrestling. My kids seemed like they all three were in the same room arguing about something and screaming. And then my wife walked in and she was frustrated about something. Everybody was frustrated in the house. And I was like, I'm getting out of this house right now. I could see how, and me and the kids, when I took the kids for a walk, I could see how if you're boxed up or pinned up in like an apartment complex in a real urban setting that you can't just get out and go, I could see how murder rates could go up. I could see how when we come out of this, that like entire families have been slaughtered at their house and nobody even knows about it. I could see how husbands and wives who normally are separate eight hours or so a day because of work, they come home, they do their thing for the kids, they feed themselves and go to bed. Maybe they have sex or whatever, but I could see how those being cooped up, stress is reaching high, and all of a sudden, boom, and nobody's even going to know about it for weeks. Nobody's going to say anything for weeks. Nobody's going to do anything for weeks because we're on this quarantine. So check on your loved ones. If you know people that are also, the other flip side of this is people who are home alone. How many people just live by themselves and their only social interaction is when they go to work or they, go to church or they go to some meeting, and all of a sudden now they've been cooped up in their home by themselves. Maybe they don't have a puppy. Maybe they don't drink. It could be a bad situation. This thing is like crazy. Well, yeah, because they allow. The only reason I said that is because they allow alcohol now at the academy. The Air Force Academy had 2 suicides, and then all of a sudden they lifted their restrictions because they really. Yeah, maybe they got to go live Proverbs 31:6. If you don't know that scripture, you should go read it. So it's not like this is going to be an unintended consequence of social distancing, because if you watch Netflix, watch the documentary Babies, and it will amaze you at how much the human touch and affection from one another, how much that actually plays a role. I'm telling you, it's going to be some weird unintended consequences of this whole social isolation distancing thing. Oh crap. My StreamYard just canceled. Enter. How's that even possible? How's that even possible? Anyway, there we go. We're back. I have 2 of me in here. That's crazy. Go double. I wonder how many people I can put in my StreamYard. How many times I can get in my StreamYard. Now I'm just jacking around. I just thought of something though. I could put a double camera on that inter broadcast. Oh yeah, we're totally. Oh no. Add, triple. Let's not try. Cloned. Absolutely cloned. Oh no. Let the little kids, they got to get out. Yeah, they should let the kids out because the kids don't catch this, right? Man, I'm at the point now where I'm seeing stuff like real numbers. They're like saying maybe 2% of the population is going to be the fatality rate. Like America's going to have a 98% success rate. Oh, now we're really talking. Today on the panel, give them strong drink. You looked it up. There you go. Everybody's going 3D WAPs. I think you can go up to 6. I think I can too. I didn't even know that until I wonder if I change this to integrated camera though. Oh yes, it does. So I could actually do 2 camera angles too. Oh, maybe 3. I'm just jacking around now. I'm jacked up reading the news today. I read the news. I read this story on the news of, is it that one? It is that one. Boom. Now I got three different camera angles. I'm just bored. Don't read the news too much. Oh, is there a major echo? Oh, that's because I just need to mute the rest of these, though, right? So if I mute all of them except for one, am I muted all the way now, or can you hear me at all? Is the echo gone, is the question. That's what I want to know. My voice is raspy. Yes, don't want the news all day. You can't do anything all day. You got to chill is what you got to do. Much better, someone said. Oh, we can hear. Sounds good now. Good. I was just jacking around. I didn't even mean to do this. It was an accident. I kicked myself out of the stream. It's crazy. Like today finally hit me. Like I woke up this morning and I was like, I think I'm just going to go nuts online. I'm just going to talk about crazy stuff all day. So we start with this academy suicides. So the Air Force Academy is in Colorado Springs, and they had two suicides in a week after they started social distancing stuff. They sent most of the younger classes home to do distance ed, but they kept the senior class and then had two suicides because of the social. They couldn't attribute them to the social distancing rules, but I'm sure that when people are alone, it's got to get you. When you get alone in your own freaking head, it's craziness. That's why I had to invite four of me on today, because I didn't want to be alone in my head, and I didn't want to be alone in this chat, and so. I think we're all bored. They need to have Tiger King 2 come on. Oh, I wanted to give you a heads up. So you need to watch Tiger King 2. You need to watch How to Hide a Drug Scandal. You need to watch I don't know. I don't know what else you need to watch. All I know is it's the weekend. It's Saturday. Did anyone know it was Saturday? Because the only reason I knew it was Saturday is because I had actually talked to my son yesterday about it being Friday, because we didn't know it was Friday. So I didn't know what day it was yesterday until I talked about it on a regular deal. I paint, but my cat don't tell me what to watch. Watching Drug Scandal is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, you definitely. Somebody says combat is very, very, very boring, but the 5 minutes. How old were those kids that allegedly committed suicide? Well, they didn't allegedly commit suicide. Well, maybe they did. Maybe they were murdered. They were seniors at the Air Force Academy. So young adults, probably 20, 24, somewhere in between there. Oh, I can play online games. Earth is closed today. The earth is closed today, someone said. I'm Proverbs 31, give them hard drink. D-Wop, you hear of the Navy captain who was canned for blowing the whistle? I don't know about that. I didn't hear about that. Let me see. Navy captain fired. 6 hours ago, the Navy captain for sounding coronavirus alarms broke no law, just protocol. In a world that seems to have gone to hell in a handbasket very rapidly, with the regular rules of society quickly genocide due to the coronavirus crisis, some authorities are responding to the pandemic management critiques by firing subordinates who sound alarm bells. Most recently, Acting Secretary of the U.S. Navy Thomas Moldley announced that Captain Brett Kozer was relieved of his command of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, stationed in the Pacific, for showing extremely poor judgment by widely disseminating a memo about the coronavirus infection spreading quickly on the vessel with 4,800 crew members. Moldley accused Kozer of misrepresenting the facts and took him to task for disobeying the chain of command. The acting Navy secretary told reporters, "While I do take issue with the validity of some of the points in Captain Kozer's letter, he was absolutely correct in raising them. It was the way in which he did it that was unacceptable to me. This response doesn't sit well with civilians. After all, extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures, and the vessel was essentially a petri dish of disease with 100 crew members testing positive for COVID-19 already." At the Washington Post, columnist Max Boot wrote a piece entitled "The Only Official Fired Over the Virus, a Captain Who Tried to Protect His Crew." 17 Democrat senators have called for the Defense Department Inspector General to conduct a formal investigation into the firing. Joe Biden, Democrat presidential candidate and former vice president, also criticized the move, tweeting, "Navy leadership sent a chilling message about speaking truth to power." And an online petition for Kozer's reinstatement already has nearly 115,000 signatures as of the time of this writing. Meanwhile, crew members aboard the sidelined vessels say everyone turned out to cheer the captain that the Navy reprimanded. Here's a video. We'll show you guys a quick video. Let's see if we can share my screen here. Well, that's not the video I want, though. Where'd that video go? Oh, that's the Air Force one. That's why. It would be the wrong freaking one here. Oh, shit. I got too many screens open. Here we go. That's the one I want right there. I wonder if we add that to this. Oh, we can only add one. Nice. So good.
Man, for the people.
They freaking showed up to respond. What is? Oh, I'm crashing it. Social distancing, I know, right? All those. Hundred cases of it in the military. They're gonna be jacked. Listen, I don't know, man. I don't know where this world is headed. I don't know where we're going. I don't know if they're going to rewrite the entire system. But I do know this is just weird. It's just weird because the truth is, what are they going to do next year? Right? They have extended the deadlines of schools closing. They're extending these quarantines. They're extending these stay at homes. They're canceling school. Again, this doesn't affect me. I homeschool my kids anyway. Our kids have been home every day. It's not like we haven't seen each other all the time anyway. What's the real kicker is just life, right? I can't take my kids to the zoo. I can't take them. There's these things that we would do on a regular basis that now all of a sudden are shutting down. Is this really how we're going to live life? Are we going to continue to extend this? Or are we going to let's open the floodgates, let this virus go wild and see what we can handle? Again, we have 100% success rate when it comes to beating everything. Everything that's ever faced us, natural disaster, pandemics, everything that has ever come against the human race in the history of the human race has never lost. But yet, all of a sudden, you know what I really think? And listen, I know I'm not a doctor, and you can listen to your doctors, and you can listen, and you can listen and listen and listen. Don't listen to me at all. I think this is an entire opportunity that they seized, and now they're just going to play it out. They're going to be like, let's see how far we can close the country. Do we have control over our country enough to shut it down? Like it's a power shutdown of the entire country. I feel so bad right now for businesses who were birthed out of nothing and they're just crashing. And they're never going to recover because they're closing their doors during this shutdown. Like they're closing their doors, and people can get pissed off at them. People can get mad. People can say what they want about them. Oh, well, they weren't prepared, or they should have been prepared better. Come on. Come on. Do you see what's happening at grocery stores? People are not social distancing my ass. This thing is either going to kill us all, or it's as bad as they say it is, or it's not. Because we are all still touching the same gas pumps. We're all still touching the same grocery store line pumps. We're all still going. So this whole idea that we're going to slow this thing, what are we going to slow it till? Next year? Like the day, literally, it's amazing to me. I should stay off the internet today because I am probably going to be too honest with you from my own perspective. Like, I just don't think this is healthy for the human race. I'm cool with the world becoming smaller. Like, I'm not talking about death. I'm talking about the simple, it is really cool to watch your local community flourish during this time. I've seen some awesome things happen just in the local community, small community. On a global scale, this just doesn't seem like it's going to be a good thing. We created this society of these huge villages, right? Millions of people that live in one village. Shoot, there are buildings in New York City that hold 10,000, 15. There are buildings in China that hold 50,000 people live in one building. In one building. So the idea of a pandemic or a virus that spreads across a population super quickly, it's because we have created the world we live in. Did you know? Let me tell you I'm going to drop a little fact on you. You could take everyone that lives in the United States, every single one of them, man, woman, and child, if you put them shoulder to shoulder and like stood them back to back in lines, shoulder to shoulder, back to back lines, you could fit all of the people that live in the United States inside the city limits of Los Angeles. This is just a perspective moment, okay? So, but what we've done is we've crammed these people in these tight little areas we call urban areas, and we expect that we can control some sort of pandemic virus that moves through the air, that lives on surfaces that we don't have a cure for. We're going to stop the spread of it. I just find this very, very archaic. Like, this is an archaic approach to a situation. It's obviously not working because they continue to extend the deadline. They continue to extend and people are blaming everyone else. It's because people aren't staying home. If you all stayed home right now, this virus is still spreading. It's still spreading. And so the idea of us staying home, social isolated, cool. Like I said, I can do this all day. I'll just go fishing. But the woods are really close. I like to spend some time in the woods anyway. I feel sorry for it, man. I feel sorry for people who are alone. I feel sorry for people who live in stacked buildings. I feel sorry for the world that we've created. This is the system in which we've created. This is it. 2020, we've created a system. I go through and flip through and watch some old movies, and you're like, oh crap, dude, they've been telling us about this for years in the movies. We knew this was coming, right? And now we're just going to live through it. Some of us aren't going to live. That's the thing. Some of you aren't going to live. There are probably people that are watching Dad with a Phone right now that if this thing is as bad as they say it is, probably aren't going to live. Or we'll all live through it, and there'll be deaths. You know, the health community is, you know, exploding with new memes, and the nurses are the new heroes, and the first responders are the new heroes, and they've taken they're on the front lines of this battle. Man, we created this thing. We created a war. We engaged this war. This is a war we started, you know? And so when people want to talk about how we're fighting this invisible thing, we have never lost. The human race has never lost a war against a germ ever in history. 100% success rate against germs. And yet we're treating this like it's nuclear war coming to our doorsteps. And we are separating ourselves against the very instinct of compassion and love and touch and communion. And I'm telling you, that is going to kill more people than the virus itself. I better shut up now. I better be quiet. It's just one of those things where, like, we're treating this like we've lost. That's what we're doing. We are literally treating this like we have lost a war against the virus, and we have never. A virus has never wiped out human history. A virus has never wiped out anyone on the human race. We're the only thing that kills everything. Trust me. We're the only thing on the planet that it has the capability of destroying everything on the planet. And I don't even think we have that capability. I think Mother Earth would swallow us far before we would ever come close to destroying her. But turn on your TV, suck in some screen time, push like and follow on Dad's TikTok, PayPals, and Facebooks and all that stuff. I need you locked up in your houses right now watching screens. Watch all your screens. Put your phone in front of your computer. Put your computer in front of your TV, and have all three screens showing Dad with a Phone. Get excited. Y'all have fun. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.